What's up, guys? This is episode number 1 of I Just Wanna Be a Hiker Trash. And I don't think I'm going to open it up like that again. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Don't like it. But you got to move forward. So we got to keep it in there because I'm a man of my word, a man of commitment. Let's move on. Hopefully episode 2 will have a better opening. But I'm your host, Scott. Scooter Hewley official on that Instagram. Or Hell Yeah Jesus on the trail. Mostly referred to as just Hell Yeah. And just as an exclaimer, I'm not proclaiming to be Jesus. This was a trail name I was given. Yeah, I took it, but it was given to me. Okay? And it doesn't mean I'm ultra-religious. It also doesn't mean I'm anti-religion. I'm just a white guy who used to have long hair. And I had long hair for years, 6 years. It was very long, past my shoulders. And right now I have some facial hair. But I used to have, a little bit longer facial hair. Now I keep it a bit more trimmed. And I had a couple on the trail and told my trail name. And they said, yeah, we don't get it. So don't get it. It's the long hair, the beard. I mean, I feel like, whether it's right or not, whether it's historically accurate or not, Jesus has been portrayed as a, white guy with some long hair and a beard. I don't think this trail name's coming out of left field. Some people really get up in arms about it. One guy, I found him a pretty silly guy. I don't try to be negative or obnoxious in a bad way. But one guy down the trail, I had some friends, Sobos, talking about me. This was a no-bo group. And they were saying, oh yeah, hell yeah, Jesus said something about this, whatever it was. And the guy got pissed about my name. He said, oh, well, that's coming from the mouth of a guy named Hell Yeah Jesus. I said, well, I hope, buddy, you listen to the podcast and I can change your mind about me. I'm an all right guy, I think. I'm trying my best. I'm not perfect. I'm not like the real Jesus. But I'm trying my best. So anyways, I digress. This podcast is about being hiker trash. And you might say, what makes you hiker trash? Who are you? You get a podcast and all of a sudden now you're hiker trash? Well, I have some credentials. Though I think I don't necessarily need to share them. But I did have some no-bows. Back when I was hiking the Appalachian Trail. This guy, humble bragging, hiking the Appalachian. Okay. Well, I'm trying to give you some perspective, but I was at Pinkham Notch, waiting for the 12 tribes. They're a Christian cult on the trail. They're picking us up. So I was with these group of nobos, just waiting for them. And while we were waiting, me and my buddy Vampire, another southbounder, the northbounders said to us, you Sobos, you don't even know what it's like to be hiker trash anyways. And I was like, the way they said it made me think, maybe I don't. I thought maybe I'd experienced it. And I said, well, I think so. I mean, what do you guys think hiker trash is? And they scoffed and laughed. I said, if you have to ask, then you're not hiker trash. I said, okay, well, I mean, what is it? They said, it's like this. You drop a Snickers on the ground and you don't even think twice about picking it back up and eating it. I was thinking to myself, if that's what it takes to be hiker trash, I've been hiker trash my whole life. I'm a gross guy. I eat questionable stuff off the ground all the time. 5-second rule, too easy. 10-second rule, gotta have it. No second rule, yes, I'll have it. If I see maybe I'll see a Reese's Pieces on the floor. I'll put it in my mouth. I'll eat it. Not if I suspect there might be a little bit of fecal matter next to it. Not if I see a weird liquid next to it. No, I'm a human. But I'm going to eat some questionable stuff. I don't think that means I'm hiker trash for doing that. And I think that these Northbounders probably were hiker trash. But why are we setting these arbitrary barriers to entry? If someone wants to be hiker trash, you're hiker trash. But to appease the masses, I'll give you some credentials. So I've been backpacking a long time. Big hiker. I mean, I've been backpacking since in high school. But you say, hey, backpacking isn't anything. My grandson Gary backpacks. He's not hiker trash. He would never be hiker trash. I said, well, okay. I think I've experienced it before I started long distance hiking, but I'll give you some of those credentials. 2016, I set out on the Appalachian Trail southbound. Did an attempt. Did 1,300 miles and unfortunately had to get off. And maybe I'll tell my story at some point, but not today. And it was a huge shock to the ego. I was defeated. I was very, bummed out, hurt my pride. But it was the right thing to do. And the mass majority of people don't finish the trail. They don't finish a thru hike, something like 70%. And I don't think that means you're not a thru hiker. I don't think that means you can't be hiker trash. And I don't think people should take that away from you if you were on a thru hike and you didn't complete it for whatever reason. You're still a thru hiker in my book. You're still a badass. And that still goes for you section hikers. You're as a part of the trail as any thru hiker out there. So, in 2018, the trail kept calling my name. And I got back on. I started from mile 0 at Katahdin again and redid that 1,300 miles and then did that additional, 900 miles, about 2,200 miles. Because it was important to me to hike every single mile. I told myself I was going to do it in one go. I didn't have to do it. I know. Doesn't mean that's the right way to do it, but that's the way that I had to do it. So I've got like 3,500 miles on that trail. Too many. Oh man, I'm going to have to wait a bit before I do the AT again. But I've even been thinking recently, maybe I could do it again. And then I went back to school, so I didn't have time to do the PCT or CDT. I would have loved to. That's my goal before I'm 30. I got to do it. But I have to do school first. I told myself that. So I did the Colorado Trail, Denver to Durango, 486 miles in 19 days. That's a marathon a day, an average. It's crazy. I'm just putting it out there, not as a bragging way, but I can hike with the big dogs. My biggest day is 51.4 miles. Respect me, please. Please, can I be a part of the crew? And I really I don't want that to come off as arrogant. I just think it's funny. So, naturally when you hike a thru hike, they're always like, well, how long did it take you? And I said, well, for that ATS at 122 days, if you must know. They said, well, didn't that Scott Jurek guy hike it in 40-something days? So, yeah, he did. I mean, he was supported. It's a way different type of thru hike. And incredible athlete. But I just think those, we're comparing apples and oranges here, guys. And I think at one point, actually, very impressive, there was a woman hiker who set the FKT for an unsupported FKT, and her time beat the supported FKT at the time. I can't remember who it was. If it's you, you're sick. I'm actually so impressed. I want to start ultra running. But that's a different, it's a different sport. It's a different way to hike, a different mentality. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. But I just want you to know, I'm hiker trash, please. Accept me. I think it's very funny what people think the trail is like. So my older sister, I love her to death. Absolutely love her. But I genuinely think she thinks that when I'm out on the trail, I'm whistling along. I'm singing to the birds. I'm casually strolling about, camping out, having a fire, meditating, having a grand old time. And I think she would be in an absolute shock to know how shitty it is sometimes, man. Oh, that's not true. I mean, maybe sometimes I'm, at a sunset, it's beautiful. A few tears come to my eyes, but it's very different than that. Man, I think, so what's an instance, my time of hiking, where I've been 100% hiker trash, if that's even a thing. And I think probably my last 500 miles of the Appalachian Trail. At like a mile, about 1,000 miles ago, maybe 900 miles ago, I like got this knee injury. Absolutely terrible. And it just kept getting worse and worse. I remember at like around about around 500 miles to go, I ran into somebody, and I was really getting worried about my knee. I was getting stressed out. I was like having anxiety attacks about it. I was like, man, do I got to get a trail? What do I got to do? I need to finish this. I'm not going to come on the trail a third time. This is my one shot. And then I met this guy. He said, I told him about my knee. He said, knee injury. That's not good. I knew somebody with a knee injury like that. And one day it just snapped. I was like, thanks, man. Thanks, dude. That does wonders to my mental health. So I'm just hiking every day as if it's my last day. Every day is like my last day, as hard as I can. I'm icing my knee in water sources. I'm trying to hide because I don't want somebody to see me and be like, hey, are you downstream from the water source? Because we're drinking this water. I said, sorry, man. I just need to ice my knee. I'm sleeping with my backpack underneath my pad to get my feet elevated. And I'm wearing this like dainty little compression sleeve over my knee. I'm also had the hiker trash mentality, like, frick this, man. I'm finishing the trail. I don't care what you think about me. Look at me. Like, for instance, we went to Damascus. We didn't stay in Damascus, but we were hiking through. And on the way out towards Tennessee, past a thrift store, and we just keep on hiking. And I stop. And I say to 4 Mile, my hiking partner, I said, dude, I really want a Hawaiian shirt. Let's go back. Can we go back to the thrift store? I want to get one. I gotta at least look. I'm so depressed here. I just hiked through Virginia. I need some sort of pump up, and Hawaiian shirt was going to get me through. So we go back to the thrift store. I look around. No Hawaiian shirt. The closest thing is a woman's blouse, a floral print. I try it on. It fits lengthwise, but in the arms does not fit. I'm not like a huge guy, but the arms did not fit. Looked very silly. So I go up to the young lady in the front. I say, can I borrow your scissors? She says, of course. So I go in the back. I think I paid for the garment before anyone gets up in my arms. I paid for the garment first. Go to the fitting room and I cut off the sleeves. And then from that point forward, I was rocking this sleeveless floral blouse. And then the next big hiker trash outfit transition was in Hot Springs, North Carolina. Oh, man. That was probably one of my worst decisions of my life. But my previous hiking shorts had gotten a hole in them. Right in the crotch. And it was terrible. So I duct taped it up. And I thought I'd made it through. But one day I'm at a water source, filtering my water. And I look down. And I just see my ball sack hanging out. I said, how long has this been like this? I was mortified. And hiking around with my ball sack hanging around. Flapping in the wind. Scarring people. Crazy. I like it. The duct tape was still in place, but there was a hole on either side. Like this very thin, like I was almost wearing like a thong. It was so gross. So I had to get some new shorts, and so Hot Springs were next town. Of course, they only have nice gear shops there. I just needed a Walmart. I needed some cheap shorts, and I needed shorts ASAP. I couldn't wait. I couldn't, put people through this image, this showing this grossness. I couldn't do it. It was too much, too far. So I go to the sales rack and I find the cheapest shorts I could find. And they're these women's shorts. They're way too short. And the legs were way too wide. It almost looked like a skirt. And I didn't wear underwear. So there was no liner. And I just had this rough material right against my body. Rough. Short. And I thought, this will be all right. This will do the trick. Everything's going to be fine. Forma, maybe don't walk so close behind me. I don't know what's hanging out, but these are going to do the trick. They didn't do the trick. Because let me tell you, they caused insane chafing. Terrible chafing. And not just anywhere. No, this isn't just your classic thigh chafe. Throw some body glide on it. Get through it, buddy. Push on through. No, this was chafing of a different sorts. Right on the tippy tip of my panah. My man part. My little Peter. And I'm sorry for the image, but I just want you guys to know just how bad it was. Right on the tip. Every time I urinated, it just burned. Searing pain. I'm yelping. I'm hiking and just rubbing around. But I have to carry Neosporin in my hip belt just to put a little right on every time I pee. I could not, it was just terrible pain. And so I'm like, man, I got to get underwear. Forma, I got to get underwear. I'm in dire need of some underwear. But every time we went in, there was no underwear to be found. I would go in the store, someone's like, no, there's no underwear here. Come on, get out of here, hikertrash. There's no underwear here. You're not welcome here. And pull down those shorts. They're too short. And so I don't know what to do. Didn't know what to do, so I shoved a plastic garbage bag, crumpled up, shoved it in my pants. Looked like I was wearing a diaper. Just a huge bulge in the front of my shorts. It's the only way I could hike and sleep without this terrible pain. I looked ridiculous. And finally, we go to the NOC in North Carolina. I said, this has got to be the place for underwear. Please, have underwear here. And I go, and people be like, why didn't you just order it? Well, man, when you're that close to finishing, there's the thought of having to go on Amazon and try to figure out your next town and hope that it's there. I didn't want to be held back. I didn't want the risk of having to take a 0 day for some underwear. Okay? Maybe it doesn't make sense to you. But when you're that close, the end was in sight. I just had to keep pushing on through. So we go to the NOC at a gear shop. At this point, there's the owner and an employee, a young girl. Where all three of us are scouring the store for just some underwear. They understood the gravity of the situation. We all met in the middle of the store and said, look, there's nothing. We have this. I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was some women's underwear or something. In retrospect, I probably should have took those. But I didn't. So I hiked the rest of the trail with a plastic bag as underwear. And not only that, I had the floral blouse, extremely short, widespread shorts, and also I'm an ultra Lone Peak guy through and through. And when the ultra Lone Peak switched from the 3.5s to the 4.0s, they changed that design of the shoe, and the sizing was thrown off. So I was a whole half size too big. The shoe was a half size too big for me. I felt like I was wearing clown shoes. And I could not find Ultra Lone Peaks anywhere. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. My knee's messed up, and these aren't helping me. I'm tripping everywhere. I look like Ronald McDonald with these clown shoes on my feet. But I made it through. I had a great time. It looked ridiculous. I didn't care, though. I just had to get the trail done. And you find joy in the little things. Just kind of laughed at myself in those terrible moments as I'm urinating and then instantly putting Neosporin on. I just said, this is bro, this is weird. This is terrible. Look at me. People pass by, they have no idea. They think I'm just some weird, gross 35-year-old man following this. Because 4 Mile, he doesn't have facial hair, and he always looks clean. It doesn't matter what we go through. We could have swam through a river of mud, and 4 Mile come out looking like the cleanest guy ever. And I came on the trail looking dirty. I'm 26 years old right now. When was that? Whatever, I'm not going to do math right now, but I was younger than 26, and I looked like I was 35 following this young guy around. I looked terrible. Just the image is just so weird. But that's what it's like. That's one example. I don't think that fully encompasses what it means to be hiker trash. But just a little glimpse into what it's like. And I definitely have moments when I've not been on the trail, which I hope to talk about at some point, where I've been in that hiker trash mindset. And I hope to actually have some non-trail people on who really kind of show what it's like to be hiker trash. And I think there's ways to live that way post-trail. And I hope to kind of explore that. Because there's some positive ideals, just like non-judgment, this letting go, being free, just really grounding yourself and living in the moment. And it's not like being naive or living this idealistic life, not based in reality. No, you're accepting reality. You're saying, look, I don't have control, but I'm not helpless. I'm not helpless. Just keep hiking. Shove that bag in the front of your shorts, buddy, and keep on trekking. And so, that's episode 1. I think we're done here. I don't think there's much more to say. This is going to be a shorter one. We're just kind of getting in the groove here. I have some interviews coming up. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you kind of get a better sense of what I'm talking about when I mean hiker trash. And maybe you can relate. Maybe there's been a time when you've been at work and there's nothing's going right. And it's so bad that it's comical. So bad that it's like, it ends up being good. You're like, there's nothing worse. There's only up from here, buddy. I feel like that's when you're hiker trash, you just live life constantly realizing, man, life's absurd. This is silly. Here I am. Actually, maybe I'll tell you the first time on the trail. I'll tell you a little bit first time on the trail when I really realized I was feeling like hiker trash. I think this is shortly after the Pinkham Notch incident that I spoke about earlier. This was when I got to Mount Washington. So Mount Washington, for people that don't know, is in New Hampshire, in the White Mountains, which people think of the East Coast as just this green tunnel. And the Whites are very much like the mountains out west. I live in Montana right now, and honestly, they are, I'd say, a little bit more epic than a lot of the Montana range of the Rockies. Sorry, Montanans, but I'm just thinking the Whites are beautiful. They're great. And Mount Washington, you hike up it, and you get to the very top, and you're trying to take a summit pic, a picture of the summit, and you're right next to all these families who have just driven up the whole mountain. They've driven up. They have no clue there's a trail that goes by. They probably don't even know you can hike up it. And then there's also a group of people who take the cog train up too. And so it's just this big like clash of cultures. Like, I'm so dirty. I'm so dirty and smelly. I'm just waiting there in line, just reeking. Just this gross energy just protruding out of me. There's the people from like the city who this is like their first experience on a mountain. They're like, what is going on? What's this guy doing? Take a shower, buddy. And so I remember there's also a cafeteria at the very top. And so I was looking forward to the cafeteria food because I was so hungry. I have that hiker hunger. And I go in there and I can't afford really anything. I think I bought one thing, but I was still so hungry. I could have ate 12 burgers. I was still so hungry. I was like, what am I going to do, man? I'm starving. I need the calories. So I grab up some mayo packets and I look at it. There's one mayo packet is 110 calories. 110 calories. You have 10 of those bad boys. That's 1,000 calories. It's over 1,000 calories. So that's what I did. I craft handfuls of those mayo packets for free and just and gorged myself on packets of mayo. All the while, there's families sitting all around us. They made like we've had like a radius around us. No one wanted to sit right next to us, but there are definitely people seeing this and be like, what? But I've never experienced so much bliss in my life. Just, that packet of mayo. God, I love it. I just love this moment. And just the absurdity of the whole situation. It wasn't lost on me. But I felt so at home and I didn't care what people thought. And I realized right there, I was like, this is hiker trash. This is silly. I love this. And mayonnaise, for whatever reason, it seemed to be like I had one other mayonnaise moment, and this is in 2016. Oh, I guess that moment was in 2016. I'm still talking about 2016. We're on the same hike. But anyways, further on down the trail, this is in Pennsylvania. I'd been alone for a long time. I did the whole state of Pennsylvania alone. Very lonely. Very dark times. Pennsylvania is very rocky. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is, but it is rocky. I went through one pair of shoes. It's like Pennsylvania, like 250 miles or something. Yeah, destroyed my shoes. Both times I went through it. It's just walking on these uneven rocks, the whole thing. It's not like you're climbing up big boulders. No, you're walking on these like pointed, jagged rocks that just like point right into your foot. You're just like, God, can somebody just grade these down? Please? Like maybe, can we just move the trail where there's not these rocks? But anyways, I've gone through Pennsylvania. This is just really depressed. I think this is by, I'm not even going to guess where this is by. But hiking alone, I'm just down. It's the end of the night. It's like close to sunset. I'm still hiking. I have to find a place to camp. Or there's not so many rocks. And I come across this MRE. This like military meal, which are heavy. I see people that have that. I mean, that's, it's probably better food than I'm eating, but God, is that heavy. I mean, you get a hot meal, which is nice, I guess. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just, also, this is littering too. Guys, throw away your MREs. Who's just leaving MREs out there? And so it had been eaten. Everything in the MRE except the mayo packet. I think there might have even been 2 in there. I said, you've got to be kidding me. I've hit the jackpot. 2 mayo packets? Oh my God. Oh my God. There is a God. The trail provides. And I had the best dinner that night. Oh man, that mayo. So gross. But I love it. Well, that's it, because I don't want to bore everybody. But keep listening, guys. Tune in. If this wasn't your jam, there's going to be other people on. You don't have to just listen to me. And happy trails. And keep trying to be hiker trash. Adios.